Still catching up from holiday. Walsall signing number 5, Aaron Pressley. We're going to call him Elvis, aren't we? It's got to be done. Rumoured to be approximately £100,000 signing. So nice that Walsall splashing the cash to bring in players with lots of promise. 23-year-old Elvis, 6'4", arrives on a 3-year deal and is very clearly the long-term replacement for Jamil Matt. But he's got some credentials around him already. A lot of time in League One already, as well as being on loan at Barrow. We'll get to that in a second. But really, Jamil Matt signing as well, that sort of opens up an interesting situation. Who's going to be favoured? Who's going to be starting? But I think Elvis will learn a lot from Jammer. So he will really help his development, I think. So that's good. We want to have a more prolific player alongside him. And that's likely to be Johnny Stuttle, rumoured to be joining us. We did see on his Instagram that he's not going to see the coast for a while. So that maybe that sort of confirms that he's on the move and heading our way. Hopefully, we'll have a no recall clause in there, because we don't want the same thing again happening as it did with Nathan Lowe, do we? Right then, so Elvis started at Hearts, Scottish lad, joined Aston Villa Youth, was then signed by Brentford on his first pro contract, and then he's had a run of games in League One, Wimbledon, Accrington, Stevenage, and then there was Barrow on loan last season. He has had a couple of injuries, which is a little bit of a concern. In 2021, hamstring injury took him out for a while. And then he had an ankle injury in 23-24 season, took him out for 3 months. So this is the problem with really tall players that do tend to have injuries. So that's something we're going to have to be careful of. As far as goal scoring, his most prolific spell was 2021. Got Players Player of the Year when he scored 19 in 26 for Brentford B. That's obviously a different level, but he's played most of his games with League One teams or in League One. So a good quality player at this level, and should be a great addition to the team. We look at what players we've already got there. Now, we're assuming Johnny Stuttle is going to arrive, which will give us 7 strikers. Jammer, Elvis, Levi, Stuttle, Flash is still here, Adoma, if we call him a striker, and Charlie Ragg. I think Charlie Ragg is likely to head out on loan. I would expect that. But that still gives us 6. Throughout the season, Matt Sadler's at Wembley, we had just 1 striker with 2 on the bench. Of course, Jamil Matt, Adoma and Levi, of course. Adoma, the benefit with him, he could play up front, but he also can cover other positions. So he's always a good guy to have on the bench. In December, we had 2 up front with 2 on the bench. And way back in August, when we started the season, 2 up front, 2 on the bench. So he's not going to really use more than 4. And that's including having Adoma in there. So who's going to miss out? And who's going to really be struggling to make the 18? I think first choice front 2, who's that going to be? Is that going to start off with Jammer and Stuttle? Or is it going to start off with Elvis and Stuttle? Levi, is he going to be the wild card off the bench on a regular basis? I think possibly he will be. Flash Gordon, we know Matt Sadler's a real big fan of him. But where's the place for him? Adoma, I think he'll do what he was doing last season. I think he'll be coming off the bench. And a real good guy to have around the building. Same as Jamil Matt. So it's real key that those have signed up. And of course, I said on the last video that people had said people couldn't wait to leave. Well, that's obviously not the case, and they're all still on board and want to try and do a better job and finish it. this season to get us into League One. And Walsall are doing it the right way. They've bringing in relatively young players, not too young, and getting them on permanent deals. So the likes of Harrison Burke, Mason Hancock, Vinnie Harper, and Courtney Clark, they're at a good age to develop and grow with the team. So all good, really. Another video later because we have a keeper. That'll be coming up.